now we have understood various concepts about REST, right? That we must use the URI and resource-based URIs and use the standard HTTP-based methods like get, put, post. And also, we must use the heteros concept where we provide the URIs which might be used by the client in the response itself. So now we have a question that whether whatever web service we have developed is that fully restful or not, right? So now how do we answer this question? Okay, like you created a web service and now you want to know that okay whether my RESTful web service is a full web service or maybe partial or not at all REST service, right? So for that, we have a model called the Richardson maturity model that defines a few steps that will give us clarity at what level our web service stands. Like we have a level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So there are these four levels by which we can decide whether our REST web service is full RESTful or like whatever stage we have, like partial or not not RESTful at all, right? So if you talk about the level 0, let's talk about the level 0, whether our I mean how does a level 0 web service look like, right? So for a level 0 web service, right, it basically means that you don't implement any concepts of the REST. Okay. So no concepts of REST are used, right? So basically, in this, what comes into this is the soap services, right? So soap services basically are are those services which are using the XML mostly, right? So if they want to send any message to any web service or request, right, they will use XML mostly, and whatever the method. For example, you want to get a message, so that method is also part of that itself. For example, let me take an example of getting a message, right? So suppose in this level 0 web service, you will have like this, like you have a get message method defined as a part of XML. Then you will define the ID for which, suppose for ID 1, you want the message, right, from the system. So you will define like ID, and then you will basically this message, right, will be sent as a request, and this we have the method, what method we want to apply, and also data in form of XML, right? So basically, and also URI, right? URI will be basically the verb based, whatever, like suppose like a get message as against REST concepts where we use the URIs, which are mostly the resource based. But here in level 0, we will not use any REST concepts. We will normally, like a SOAP service is a good example of that, and there we use the XML. So this also this called as a swamp of POX. It means that we are using the plain old XML for all the communication across our web services, right? Now let's look at the level 1. So in level 1, right? In level 1, what is happening that you utilize like one concept only of REST, like you are using the resource resource based URIs. Okay. But methods and all, you are using the same like verb based, like get message or like add message. Okay. You are not using the resource based URIs. For example, when we use the resource based URIs, we use like this API slash whatever the resource. Suppose message is a resource, so we put like this. So this is a REST based URI, right? But these are not the REST based URIs, right? So in this level one, we just use the resource based URIs, but we don't use the standard HTTP methods, right? And we use the like whatever we have seen earlier, like those get messages, add messages, like those methods. So level one, we can call as a resources, because at this level, at least your URIs are resources based, right? In level two, right? In level two, we go one step ahead, and we use the uh, our REST service, like a, they will have the resource based URI, along with they will be using the standard HTTP based methods, right? For example, if you want to get a message, you will use the get method of HTTP, and URI will look like something like this: API slash message slash one. So here you want to retrieve a message with which is having the ID as one, and you are sending a proper get method. I mean, whatever the rest and standard. So level two is adding one more step ahead. It is using the HTTP verbs. So that's why we all say HTTP verbs, right? Now, third level, where we want to be, right? Ultimately, when we are trying to develop our web services, we want to be make sure that our web services are like fully restful, right? So when you talk about the level three, right? Level three is using the resource based URIs for sure. Then using the standard HTTP based methods. Okay, and also it will use the concept of hetos, right? Hetos we all discussed in my previous video. In that, what we do, we add the probable URIs in the response itself, which can be utilized by the client, right? So here, suppose you want to retrieve a message from the REST web service, so you will use the method as a get, and request will be like this: API slash messages slash one. Suppose you ID is one, which you want to retrieve. Then in response, right? Response will also provide some extra URIs, right? That are going to help client to basically add new messages or like read messages. Okay, so those URIs will mention. Suppose you want to add a URI for comments, you will say, okay, I want to add a URI for comment, like API comments, right? So for then I mean, the client doesn't need to recreate the URI by itself. It can utilize the same URI which it has got from the I mean, the client, right? So web service, right? So we can use so in level three, what we are doing, we are using the resource based URIs. Then we also using the HTTP based methods. Then using the headers concept as well. So this is a level which where we want to be there. So it is called as a hypermedia controls, right? It's called as a hypermedia controls, right? So we want to be like, if you start from level zero and we want to be at level three. Okay, So that's how we want to grow in our REST services, and that is where you want to be, at least at level 2, so that we are using the HTTP methods along with the resource based URI. So yeah, so that's it. So by this whole concept, you can understand that, okay, whether at what level of your service is operating, right? Whether it is level 0, 1, 2, or 3, and as an organization or as an individual, where you look at maybe in some time, right? So yeah, thank you very much. With this, I'll close this video, and thanks a lot, and sorry for my bad handwriting. I will improve gradually over time, and thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe my channel, and also please put some comments, whatever questions you have in your mind, so I will try to answer them for sure. Yeah, thanks a lot.